Hello, guys, and welcome to Birth Your Vision podcast. I am so excited to welcome you all today in today's wonderful show. And I have an amazing guest who is an amazing Dr. Parker, who is going to be talking all about how to get your swag back. And you might be wondering, what does that really mean? So make sure that you stay tuned till the end to really find out what we're going to be sharing, tools and strategies on how you can actually get your swag back. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. So before we actually, kickstart this wonderful episode, I just want to introduce you to my wonderful guest. Dr. Parker is actually a PhD, a CP, a secondary domestic violence survivor, affectionately dubbed the Courage Catalyst by a re-energized leadership client. She's an author and also an amazing person who has actually published an amazing book, If a Purse Could Talk. And Girl, Get Your Swag Back. She's actually the co-owner and the co-executive of socialpreneur, the Gem Makers LLC, a worldwide progressive leadership development education training and coaching firm for women, the co-executive producer of the Beyond Brilliant TV broadcast, and the founder and visionary coaching industry disruptor at the S.W.A.G University. She is a tireless motivator. She is absolutely an amazing, wonderful podcast host, as well as, she hosts this amazing podcast, which is Girl, Get Your Swag Back. And make sure that you actually tune in and follow her. She's going to be sharing some amazing nuggets today on how you can actually get your swag back. So without further ado, please welcome Dr. Parker. Thank you so much for coming to the show today.
Oh my goodness, my pleasure. Hey girl, hey, it's so good to see you and hear you.
Thank you so much. Your bio is amazing. It's such a mouthful, and that's incredible. And, I just want to commend your journey. You're just an amazing queen who is definitely disrupted, the whole world of women's network and definitely teaching them how to get their swag back. So I'm so honored to have you on the show today. And I just wanted to share how we actually met on LinkedIn, because that's the power of basically networking. LinkedIn is a powerful tool that I use and you also use, as well as other women in business and also men as well. So it's really great that you were able to connect with me, and it's been an honor and a privilege to actually be on your show, and now you are here on my show. So I'm so grateful. So welcome, Dr. Parker. So how was your day today?
Oh my gosh, it has been busy already. I'm not done. I'm not done.
Absolutely. What is it like a day in the life of Dr. Parker?
Oh gosh, I don't even know if anybody wants that. Yes, I don't even know if you want that. Because listen, I get up super early. I'm an early riser. I'm one of those that will rise before my alarm clock goes off. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's good. I mean, it's good, but sometimes it's like, really? Is that what we're doing, God? That's what we're doing? Okay. And so the day in the life is, I literally start my day with talking to God. We talk all day long, first of all, but prayer, meditation, but then I'm juggling, right? I'm juggling corporate, I'm juggling entrepreneurship, I'm juggling family, I'm juggling all of these different things. But they live in harmony. I have to live my life harmoniously, because that's just, to me, the way that I need to ensure that I stay focused.
Yes, indeed. I love that you start your day with prayer. That is actually what I do as well. Prayer is absolutely incredible. It's basically like meditating, just having a one-to-one connection with your God and just sharing your day, so that you can have a good, peaceful day, So I'm really, really definitely into that. Definitely that resonates with me. So, swag, it looks like you've definitely gotten your swag back, And I just wanted to know that acronym, S.W.A.G. What does it really stand for?
Yes. So swag. Yes. And it's funny you say that I've gotten my swag back, honey. I work on my swag all the time. SWAG stands for self-confidence, your walk with God, your walk in purpose, how you connect spiritually, your attitude of gratitude, really being grateful and understanding, what it means and how you're energizing yourself to have that attitude of gratitude, right?
Good.
And your gifts and talents, leaning into what you were purposed to do. So
Yeah.
that's what the swag stands for.
Fantastic. That sounds really amazing. I love the fact that you said leaning into what you want to do. We all have, different talents and gifts and different callings. And so it's important that we actually ensure that we are leaning in and understanding what we've been called to do, which is really, really awesome. And I just wanted to know, how do you kind of help people to actually get their swag back? Do you have like a program that you actually implement in terms of helping people from A to B, step-by-step roadmap?
I do. Thank you so much for asking that. Swag, let me just tell you, it started with my own testimony. It really
Yeah.
was a journey for me. And I started out writing a book. And it was all about when I was 18 years old, I was stabbed with a 6-inch butcher knife by my sister's abuser. And
Whoa.
so from there, I lost my swag. I was one honey that
Mm.
was out there, moving and shaking. You couldn't tell me what I couldn't do. And
Yeah.
so, but from that experience, that trauma, it just had
Mm.
tentacles and it took over my life. And so I lost my self-confidence, my walk with God, and my attitude looked like the Tasmanian devil because I was like, whoo, I wasn't myself.
Yeah.
And I wasn't running on all those cylinders. And then my gifts and talents, I put them in a box and walked away. But I was
Mm.
charged with writing this book and sharing my story so that other women could really be uncaged and released into their greatness. And so, and I'll tell all my business. Oh my goodness, all my business. I was like, Lord, this
Yeah.
is what we're doing. We're telling our business. And so in that book, I told my business, but it was really for somebody else. And so that led to the SWAG University. And the SWAG
Mm.
University, where some amazing women have joined me as coaches in the SWAG University to take women on a 6-week journey to
Yes.
getting their swag back. And we really focus in on each of those areas. And the first thing that we do is really have to understand that we lost it.
Right.
Sometimes we move through the world and we don't even know that we're limping and we're just running on fumes. And, you
Mm.
know, given, I mean, what we've all went through, we all could
Exactly.
stand to get our swag back, right?
Right.
Because gone through so much. 2020, 2021 was like a bucket of cold water that was thrown in our faces and just literally trying to breathe. We need to just recognize that there's some things that are missing that we've
Yeah.
lost. And
Mm.
that's just the first step.
Absolutely. I am so sorry to hear about what happened to you. That trauma that you actually went through, it must have been a devastating moment.
Absolutely.
Having to go through that and then overcoming it, and now kind of living life again. Without going too further into it, I just wanted
Yeah.
to know, now that you've kind of moved on from it and now you're helping other women to get their swag back, can you share with our listeners, who you are, in one word, and also describe, in this season, who you really are?
Yeah, if I could say in one word right now in this season, um, I would say I am released, right? I'm
Wow. I love
released.
that word,
And
release.
and I think about that and uncaged. And my mother,
Mm.
I love her. She always says this. She always say, she always says, I can tell when your wings are caged. And so when she says that, she'll tell me, fly, baby girl. And she's let
Yes.
those wings just flap. And so I
Mm.
feel like in this season of my life, I've been released and my wings are flapping.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Because, the moms, they're able to see through their child to see whether they're happy, whether they're sad, whether there's something
Yes.
wrong with them. So I definitely resonate with mom. Absolutely. Yeah. For sure.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
Yeah. So that's one
Mm.
word I guess would describe me in this season. And if someone just, who are you? What do you do? I'm a mother of 2 amazing young men that are my heartbeats, and everything I do goes because of them. And I say young men because I have a 22-year-old and a soon to be
Yeah.
16-year-old. Published author. You've read the bio, and
Yeah.
but I'm also a sister friend. I'm a daughter. I'm all these multifaceted things. I'm a multifaceted woman, and most importantly, a child of God. that is walking purposefully in what he has called me to do. That's
Fantastic.
That's who I am.
Brilliant, absolutely. And this brings me to this question of, if you can just kindly finish the sentence for me. I am, what would that be for you? I am
bold.
bold. Yes.
Yeah, I am. I'm bold. I'm courageous.
Yes. Absolutely. You're actually fierce.
I like it. I'll
A
take it.
queen. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll
I love
take
it.
it.
So, Dr. Parker, tell us about your life's mission, because everyone has a mission in life.
Yeah.
And many of us understand what it is, and some of us are still trying to find what it is that our mission is.
Yeah.
What is your life mission, really?
Yes, it took me a while to figure that out. What you just said, Hannah, is so true, that we're still kind of just trying to figure out the puzzle pieces. And
Yes.
I feel very blessed to know that I was called to empower ladies, leaders, and little girls. And I do that, and I have done that all my life. I just didn't know how to really frame it up, right? That's what I have been doing, is empowering ladies in such a way that God has used my story, my, things that I've gone through and things that he's called me to do to really empower ladies. And when I think about leaders, that's been my career, leadership development. I love helping leaders become great people, right? That they're developing other people. And then little girls, I get an opportunity to sit on a board with my great sister friend of her organization called Diamond in the Rough. And that's where we will mentor young girls ages 4 to 18 years old. So those are the things that I do. That's my life's mission.
Yes, I love it. Absolutely. I am definitely dedicated to women as well, empowerment, and helping them through turning their skills into a profitable business, just telling them how good they are, and helping them to see what, they have inside of them, and helping them to actually birth it out. So I definitely resonate with you on that. And, you are called the Courage Catalyst. I love that name. I absolutely love that name. So, that name speaks to me, and it actually tells me that you are someone who is definitely an encourager. You love to empower other people, and you are like an enabler, someone that enables other women. And so, what does it really mean to you to be a courageous woman?
Oh my gosh. I love that I was deemed the courage catalyst, because I
Yes.
am that hand on your back that pushes you out
Mhm.
of your comfort zone into your courage zone. And to me, courage is a decision. That's what it means to me. First and foremost, you decide to be courageous. It doesn't mean these big giant things. It just means something that scares you a little bit, or you're risk taking every day, something every day that you didn't do yesterday.
Yeah.
It's those small things that to me are the most courageous. When you think about someone who's literally made the decision to say, you know what, today is the day I'm about to set 3 goals that I'm going to accomplish by the end of next month. You
Right.
made a decision. And then when you do it, you did that, and that's courage. It is really having the will to actually take on something that's bigger than you, that maybe challenges you in a way that you've not been challenged before. That's courage. And so
Absolutely.
I want people to know, when people think about courage, they think about something that has to be so large and, and almost unattainable, but
Yes.
it's not, right?
Absolutely, definitely. And I love that you're able to actually just be that person that needs to kind of give women a pat on the back, right? Because many women need that, right? Some of us, we lack confidence. Some of us, we have, low self-esteem, and it's quite tough for us to actually get started. But when you have an encourager, an encouraged catalyst who is there behind you, your backbone, and say, girl, you
Yeah,
can do that. Girl, you need to get your swag back. And I really
that's right.
commend the program and what you are doing for women, and you're really showing up very powerfully. So well done on that. And going back to the name, girl, get your swag back. I absolutely love it. And when it comes to writing books and, choosing a name for your book and choosing a name for your podcast, it can be quite tough and very challenging. What inspired you to actually, choose this name for both your book as well as your podcast?
I tell you this, and I'm telling you, this may sound like, you know what? I don't know if that was the truth. This is honest to God truth. I was literally in the gym one day, and this is why I was really like regularly working out, working on her. I was in the gym one day, and I was asking God about what my purpose was and what it looked like. And I literally heard that I was supposed to write a book. I was writing blogs at this time. And I was like, well, wait a minute, wait. I love books. I write blogs. I don't do books right now. But my charge was to write this book, and it was called Girl, Get Your Swag Back. And I didn't know what the swag stood for at first. And I had to walk it back. Understand. I had to walk it back to understand what I was hearing. Like, what is going on?
You have to create that name and make it have meaning,
I had to walk it back to understand that. But then what I understood was that I was being shown where I lost all of those things, that this was going to be my coming out and taking off the mask and that I had been wearing for so long and so many years, and taking off the Band-Aids and to understand why and what was going on. So I recognized that I had lost the self-confidence. My walk with God wasn't looking like it should be. My attitude was atrocious. my gifts and talents, were on the shelf. And so that was literally how God showed me that swag was the name of this book. Girl, get your swag back. He was talking to me first. Get it back.
Absolutely. Sometimes we need to check what God is saying to us. Check yourself first before you start checking other people.
That's right.
And I love the fact that you're able to do that. And, this name came to you. Isn't it amazing when we can actually just come up with ideas just in the midst of doing something very simple? It could be cooking, sitting down, doing homework with the children, or going to the gym, just like you said. And that name came to you, and you had to sit down, go back to it, and start figuring out what does each acronym mean to you first, before you now, take it out there to the world in a form of a book, in a form of a podcast.
Exactly. Right? And you know what, Hannah, I would just say to your listening audience, when you hear something in your spirit, and write it down. Write it down. And then to go further, take a pad of paper with you, or a little journal, book, whatever, wherever. You never know when you're going to get inspiration like that. And just continue to write all of that down, because there were pages of this book tucked in my purse. They were in my pocket. I just found all of these things, and this was the making of this book. And so I just encourage somebody to make sure that they are writing things down that you get in the moment, so that you don't forget that, because that's trails to what your purpose is supposed to be.
Absolutely. You're so right. Talking about what you had faced and, the challenges that you had gone through, just wondered whether you were able to kind of experience, imposter syndromes in the past. And if you did, experience it, how was you able to actually overcome it?
Oh, the imposter syndrome.
Oh,
I wrestle with that term too, because number one, we as women, we don't need not one more syndrome. We don't need it. But it's literally, yes, I did. And, and if we're all being honest, at moments we all struggle there, right? It's simply doubt and fear, right? Of something that that you've been able to do. Somehow these little voices, I call it dirty talk. The dirty talk in your head just starts talking to you, and you begin to judge yourself like no one's business.
Absolutely.
And so for me, it's really about stopping for just a minute. Giving voice to what I'm hearing and feeling. And then I need to see if that's the truth. Is this really the truth? And is what I'm thinking about myself the truth? And if it's not, then I get to challenge it, right? And then from that challenge, I get to tell myself the truth and remind myself of who I am and what I have been able to do in the past, and then choose from that point of
Right.
where I'm going first, right? Choose from the
Absolutely.
place of truth as opposed
Yeah.
to the place of that doubt and fear and that dirty talk. And
Mm.
oftentimes we choose from that place, and that choice shuts down the
Yes.
good stuff that we're supposed to
Absolutely.
go for, right?
Indeed. Yeah. And did you find that you were able to use the same similar strategies for overcoming the challenges that you faced as well?
Yeah.
Mm.
And what I would add to that, trauma
Yeah.
it doesn't just go away. And I limped through the first half of my life, not knowing what really happened to me, right? I didn't know all of this. I wasn't as wise as I am right now. But
Right.
therapy, honey, works as well. Let me
Mm.
tell you, I'll be the first one to tell you to take care of your mental health.
No,
Take care of your mental health, your
definitely.
emotional well-being. There's nothing wrong with going to get a great counselor. Even a
Right.
counselor needs a counselor.
Yes. Absolutely. We all need one.
And I'm telling you, I did. I still have.
Yeah.
I still
Mm.
have one. And she is a part of my regimen, right? You go to the doctor,
Yes.
you get your mammogram, you go, she is a part of my
She does
regimen.
the whole lot. Yeah. Absolutely. You're so right. Definitely. I mean, sometimes we're so what's the word, sort of timid to even say that we have a counselor. It's almost like a taboo because sometimes, people are seen as, oh, she has a problem.
Right.
But really, it's not about you having a problem. It's just about getting support, someone that you can talk to, because sometimes you can't really share your heart feelings with other people. And
That's right.
so going to a professional, you might be able to break down things a little bit more better, and they're able to actually look at what you're going through and how they can help you in that moment in time.
You got
And
it.
so going to therapy is not a problem, it's actually an additional support for you to get, your well-being and your mental health back. What's your take on that?
That's absolutely right. When we're hurt,
Yeah.
right? We go to the
Hmm.
hospital,
Yes.
right?
Right.
Immediately, like we're no, take me to the
We're
hospital
not shy
because
to
I
say
am
that.
hurting. Do not leave me out here like this. And that's the same way that we have to think about it when we're in pain emotionally, or when we're
Yeah.
struggling with something that we need to have another person who has an opinion that's not one that's so close to us, like an objective opinion, right? And
Yes.
so you need to have that as a part of your whole well-being,
Well-being.
all of it. And so we have to break the stereotype of you go
Yes.
to a counselor even when only when things are wrong. No,
Mm.
sometimes when I'm just in my head too much, like I'm in my head too much, I just kind of
Yeah.
need to talk this out with somebody
Exactly.
else
To
other
offload
than
it
my
to
circle.
someone.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
that I can hear a different opinion and get a different perspective from somebody who is not this close to me, right? So it's a great way of thinking about it that way.
Definitely, for sure. And I'm so happy that I've been able to get a copy of your one of your book, which is Girl, Get Your Swag Back. So I just wanted to know, do you have any other books that you've actually written apart from that one?
I do. I
Yeah.
did a compilation a few years ago called If Her Purse Could Talk. And
Hmm.
once again, God was like, okay, we're gonna be in your business. And I was like, well, do I need to be in my business by myself? And so he said, no, go get these ladies right here and see if they'll tell their business. So if her purse could talk was all around really what a woman carries in her purse. And metaphorically, it was really the container of your heart, right? What
Hmm.
we carry. And so I was a globetrotter
Hmm.
traveling all over the place. And so
Yeah.
I happened to be changing my purse, and I didn't have a chance to do that very often.
Hmm.
But you know how you leave stuff behind in
Tell
person?
me about it.
Oh my
Girl, you
God.
don't even want to see my purse. It's
Oh, no one
cluttered
wants to
up.
see it. Like, no one can see what I got going on over here. But I tell you, I started looking through those purses, but it was telling a story of my life, where I had been, what was going on
Mm.
in my life. I could see all of these different things that I had left behind, that I was like, oh my gosh, I could see what I
Yeah.
was feeling, what was happening when I was
Mhm.
not feeling well, or if I was doing something in service of someone else.
Yeah.
And so I asked the question of these other women that are in my tribe to answer the question, if your purse could talk, what would it say?
Hmm.
And so they had to dig deep. We dug deep. My mother's in this book. My sister, my youngest sister, is in this book. Friends in my sister circle are all in this book. And I mean, when we didn't read each other's stories until the very end, until it was published. And when we did that, oh my gosh,
that's amazing.
I was in tears. I read everybody's story, but they did not. But it was amazing.
Oh, that's super, super awesome. So that's another book on the list that I need to invest in. So to all our listeners, if you are listening, make sure you grab those 2 books. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And I also wanted to kind of ask you this question, which is about, with everything that you're doing, you know, how would you like to be remembered? Right?
Yes. So legacy.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I think, you know, if I drop dead right now, you know, the people around me, I mean, it depends. I would want first of all, it's my family, right? I want them to remember me, my boys. I want them to remember that they had a mother that loved them fiercely, right? And that there was nothing that they couldn't do, that, you know, that I wasn't there for. I'm their biggest cheerleader, and I want them to remember that and to carry that forward in their families. I think outside of that, you know, I love just to be able to say that I have lived my life poured out. I don't want not one morsel left in here that I'm supposed to have, that I was supposed to have given.
Yeah,
right.
Love that.
I want that to be the legacy, that she lived her life, you know, and she poured out what God asked her to do. And so at the end of it, that he can say, well done, good and faithful servant, you know.
Absolutely. Welcome. Yeah, I love that, because one thing I normally preach to women is, you have a gift inside of you. You have a skill, you have a talent. Don't let this gift die with you or take it to the grave.
Yes.
You're able to share it, because you hold the world a debt. If you hoard it and you allow it to die with you in the grave, you've got to birth it. And I'm happy that you've been able to birth and unleash many of your skills and your talents, your organization, you know, the women empowerment programs that you've put together for women to change their life. Even your journey itself is a story. The way you've been able to teach women how to get their swag back, how to really stand in their power. You know, that is so, so incredible. And so, you know, this brings me to one of the last questions around, you know, what is next for you, Dr. Parker? Where are you heading to next?
Oh gosh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. I am in awe right now of what God is doing in my life. I'm really in awe because you couldn't have told me that I'd be my business partner and I, Dr. Nicole Steele, would be the executive producers of a broadcast, the Beyond Brilliant broadcast. You couldn't tell me that. So that's what's out there. So that airs every Tuesday at 4 p.m. your local time. You can check that out on our either on gymmakers.org or Beyond Brilliant Network. You can look at that. Beyond Brilliant broadcast. The other thing is that we're literally on the cusp right now of launching the Beyond Brilliant Network.
Fantastic.
And we soft launched it. We're now in the throes of this, and it is really to help women go beyond their brilliance, right? So when you think about Beyond Brilliant, it's really about, we are so brilliant. Hannah, you are brilliant, right?
And so are you.
Brilliant. And with all the things that you do.
Yeah.
And if I can't imagine if that brilliance was just left in your box right here, right? This box. And so we say, yes, great. We want you to find the clarity, confidence, and courage to shine in that brilliant zone, but you've got to go beyond brilliant, because shining in the box, honey, is not cute. You can't have brilliance in the box. You got to go beyond that and allow people to see it, experience it, be a part of it, and then be encouraged by your brilliance. And that's what the Beyond Brilliant Network is all about. So that is my immediate next. I am super excited. We're having a bash to cut the ribbon open, all that stuff on October 30th. Oh, we're super excited.
That's amazing. Oh, I wish I was there.
I wish you were here too.
I know.
Oh my gosh. I wish you were
was there.
That would be fun.
I know. It would have been amazing to come to your studio. I
Yes.
know.
Yes. So we
Oh,
would love for just, listening audience. I know that if you're not, local, you can't come, but you can plug in if you go to the beyondbrilliantnetwork.com. So beyondbrilliantnetwork.com. Please go out there, check it out, see what it's all about. Catch our broadcast, all that good stuff. So that's what's next.
fantastic. That sounds amazing. And just finally, I just wanted you to kind of share, your last words of inspiration to many of our listeners who are listening to you today, just to give them some
Yes.
form of encouragement as, the Encourage Catalyst.
Yes. So thank you so much, first of all, Hannah, for having me on your amazing show. And you are, like I said, you are brilliant. And I am so loving just our connection. And
Yes.
if I could leave your listening audience with anything, um, I would say drink, steal, and lie. And I'm going to say that 3 times: drink, steal, and lie. So drink from the fountain of other women, right? Who have
Mm,
gone before you, who are doing amazing things that can empower you. I'm drinking from Hannah's cup. She's overflowing over there. And still, when you think about moments for yourself to fill back up and get your swag back, steal away those
mm,
moments for yourself and pause for just a minute to be recharged, especially in this world right now. And then when I think about lying, when you
mm.
lie down to sleep tonight, when you lie down and you close your eyes, I say a little prayer for God to show you your purpose for not just for your entire life, but what's next for you tomorrow when you rise, right? What will God purpose you to do tomorrow? So drink still and lie. And I have a gift for your listening audience as well. So a free
Oh,
digital
yes.
swag bag, free digital swag bag.
Fantastic.
Yes, if you
Wow.
go to
Incredible.
DeYonneParker.com, you'll get that free digital swag bag. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. It's really been a pleasure to have you on the show today. Thank you for being an amazing guest. And so, we've come to the end of the Birth Your Vision podcast. It's really amazing to have so many people interacting with us tonight. And so we want to say thank you so much. And so until next time, join me again for another episode of Birth Your Vision podcast. And please make sure that you actually sign on to our newsletter so that you can get, all the latest updates on the next episode. And also make sure that you follow us on YouTube as well as Instagram page. So thank you so much, Dr. Parker. It's a pleasure to have you here tonight. Have a great evening and stay blessed. Bye, everyone, for now. Thank you. Bye.